Hello again viewer, and welcome once again to Planet Film. In the darkroom again, Lith prints again. This time though we're going to be using the Nomad deep tank slot processor. It just means you can run temperatures a bit higher. I'm going to be running this at 30 degrees today with the Lith just to see what happens. The other thing that I'm quite excited about today, we're going to be using this. This is Kentmere Art Classic paper. This is 20-year-old, it's an unused box, unopened box, so I'm looking forward to getting some negs in the enlarger. Here we go. First test strip. I'll tighten this out. I've done it's a thin negative, so I've gone with based on the format tone, I've gone with at the same size. This is 12/16. I've gone with a 2-minute and a 4-minute exposure. Hopefully one or the other should nail it down. Of course, the unseen variable here is the fact that this paper is so old, 20 years old, possibly a little bit longer. It was discontinued a number of years back, and it's just been sitting in the darkroom patiently waiting for some Lith. I used this paper a lot. It was my favourite Lith paper, along with Champion Model Lith Developer. Used to get very consistent results, even repeatable results. That was back in the day of old brown. Some Lith users still use that method of using old brown, using old developer with new developer to try and tame the initial test prints and prints. For me, that doesn't seem to be working particularly well with LD20 developer. So I'm using fresh dev. Here we've got the image coming up in, wow, that's amazing, just over a minute and a half. We are running at 30 degrees in the Nova slot processor, so I'm expecting it's that's given us this rapid appearance of tones. You can see the difference there between the 4-minute exposure, 2-minute exposure, and we're only 2 minutes into the dev, just over. 2 schools of thought here to run with. Run with a 4-minute exposure time and the significantly shorter developer here. I'm amazed this paper is coming up this quick. It's got to be temperature. I'll go for the shorter exposure and dev it a bit longer. This dev time is so short. I think I've got tone coming up in the sky there as well. We've got no borders on the test print here to use as a guide. I'm going to pull that now. Well, a bit of a pleasant surprise there. I'm definitely going to run with the 2-minute exposure. Oh, here we go, full size print. We've run with the 2-minute exposure. It's just saying that the 4-minute it actually looked like it was starting to get a bit of pepper fogging in there, which could be down to the age of the paper, or the fact that we're running this LD20 Lith dev at a good not hot, but certainly a warm 30 degrees. So I ran with 2 minutes. If there's any hint of the highlights not coming up, we can just cook it a little bit longer in the dev. I'm not too worried about the blacks. I've mentioned that before. Let the blacks look after themselves, up to a point of course. Just too much black. So go with 2 minutes and then give it a cook it a little bit more. We're about 1 minute and 20 seconds into the dev. Super fast dev considering the age of this paper. Lots of tone in the sky there. It was a bright day, but pretty much a cloudless sky, so I'm not expecting too much. Okay, bang on 2 minutes and I'm going to stop that. Dunk in the stop. Dunk in the fix. Let's have the room lights on and have a good look. I can't honestly believe me look, to be absolutely honest. Don't you just love Lith? It's a 20+ year old paper. A one test print, a 2 minute and 4 minute test print. We went for the 2 minute. It's paid off. A short dev, very short dev in Lith terms. We're running at 30 degrees, that's obviously helped that along. Absolutely brilliant. No dodging, no burning. Just a lovely straight Lith print. Out of interest, the subject is the causeway up at Holy Island, the Holy Island of Lindisfarne. This area here is the Pilgrim's Way, where the pilgrims used to cross to the island at low tide. This dominant little feature here on the skyline is one of the rescue stations, because the tide can't come in quickly over there. Still to this day it catches people out, particularly in vehicles, not paying attention to the tide times. So if you head up there, be careful. Consult a tide timetable and adhere to it meticulously. Don't take any chances. And get back to your darkroom and make some lovely Lith prints. Okay, another negative in the enlarger. No test prints this time, just running with the same exposure time. It's a reasonably similar negative density wise, so I want to take a chance and just run straight away with a full size print. Some tone coming up nice and quick again. We're barely about 1.5 minutes into the dev. This is a good 30 degrees, so tones are coming up really quick. Just a 2 minute dev for that one, and a stop. Quick dunk in the stop. Fix, then we can get the room lights on and have a look. Right, we're back over the fixer tree again with the camera. With that second negative from the Yorkshire Dales project, the field barns, or the railway wagons that utilise as field barns. There's only 2 or 3 of them left over there, and this paper just takes me back to how it was many years ago. It was such a fabulous paper to work with. It seemed to Lith effortlessly. Washed and dried now. There were 2 prints from that last Lith session. As I recall, there's a lovely velvety surface sheen to this paper. No reflections whatsoever. Pretty much a dead matte. Just a lovely paper. Such a shame it's no longer still available. So that's the first one. And the second, the Yorkshire Dales field barn. Again, lovely tones. This time around, after all these years printing very, very similar in tone to former tone paper, peachy tones, with Champion Lith, our classic always used to give a slightly reddish tone, but all in all, not a bad session at all. 2 nice prints, pretty much effortlessly done. So that's it for this time. See you on the next one.